straight north. This is north of downtown, probably up to Nose Hill, maybe as far as Beddington Trail. These types of communities, they're similar to the communities that if you went south along McLeod Trail, like Acadia or Fairview. These communities, again, were built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You've got tons of bungalows and bi-levels, very suitable properties, drivable streets. They've got wide back lanes. They've got wide streets, lots of parking. Very different build than, say, the new communities where you've got smaller streets, tighter back lanes. Some don't have back lanes at all. Very limited parking. These communities we find are great. One thing that's lacking is that LRT, and the Green Line is, planned to go up Center Street, straight up to the north part of the city, but it's a long ways away. So until then, there are the BRT routes that go down Center Street, down 4th Street, to get people into downtown. And even the farthest away of these communities, Huntington Hills, Thorncliffe, it still only takes 20 minutes by transit to get downtown.
Yeah, just going through them, Winston Heights, obviously the builders are going in there. Winston Heights is a real different kind of community. You have $1 million plus homes in there. You have the golf course, siding onto Deerfoot. You're close to Center Street, so you have all of those businesses people can go to, like Lena's, the Italian market. People love it in there. But you know what? When developers are in there, it just means one thing: the community is going to continue to go up. So whatever you can buy in there is a thumbs up from us. Highland Park, once again, they never did settle on the golf course there, right? They never did get it off the ground, but something will be done with that land there. Once again, how close to Center Street do you want to be, or Center A Street? We've done a lot of business in and around there just because it's so central. Thorncliffe, there is some great lots in there, 50-foot lots once again. Older homes, there's big bungalows which you can suite. People want to live there. They always rent out just because it's so central, right? You've got all the main access routes going in and out of there. McKnight goes through there. You get on the Deerfoot really quickly. You've also got Edmonton Trail and Center Street, and then John Laurier goes through there. You not go through there?
Yeah, it goes up to John Laurier.
Yes, right.
So, and if you look at the right-hand column in this chart here, you can see these communities are holding their value. They're right around +7 to -4. So that, average out those communities out, and you're right around, just over 0, 1, 2, 3%. So they're holding their value even in this softening of the real estate market, because these communities are still in high demand. They do have all the schools there. They've got all the parks there. Like, as I said, transportation's no problem to get anywhere in the city. And if you drive through every one of these communities, you're going to see redevelopment going on. People are renovating houses. Go through there in the summer, and all these communities will have bins of, on every 3rd street. Someone is renovating something. So they're very high demand, these communities. And if they're high demand with buyers and home buyers, they're also high demand for renters.
Yeah.
So you can't go wrong going straight north of the downtown area. The issue that we find there is they're getting too high priced.
Yeah.
Right. The closer you are to downtown, the higher the prices will be, which is why we don't have Capitol Hill in there. We don't have Crescent Heights in there anymore. Those prices just went through the roof. And as a new buyer, new real estate investor going in there, you put your 20% down, your mortgage payment is so high you can't really cash flow. Yeah. For our existing investors who got into there 2, 3, 4 years ago, their mortgage amount is still low enough that they can cash flow.
Yeah, you can see Mayland Heights here up 7%. That's a hidden gem. It's so close to downtown. Once people discover there's the 8th Street flyover over Deerfoot, and you don't have to go on Memorial Deerfoot to get downtown. 8th Ave flyover, you know what? It's so easy. And the lots in there, once again, developers are going in there. McEwen Glen, you're so close to Nose Hill Park.
Yeah.
Yep. And so people love that. Beddington is the only one that you have to watch. We actually picked up 2 properties last month in there, 2 legally suited. We got one of the cheapest suited properties in the Northwest in Beddington last month. Did you pay $515 for it? $520?
Yeah, it was $510, something like that.
$510 for a legally suited property. Yes, it does need lipstick. The other one we paid $545, another legally suited property. that came with tenants already. So you can pick up cash flowing property straight away in these types of communities. You just have to remember something like Beddington, though, it's a single use lot. So meaning that the best you could do with it is suite it, and then that's probably it. Whereas if you're buying in, say, a place like Huntington Hills and you've got a 50-foot lot, you can do multiple things with that property down the road. You have to remember that the airport isn't far away. When I actually moved to this country, I lived in Beddington with 5 female flight attendants that lived in Beddington, and I would advise no one to ever do that. It was horrible. Okay. People going to work at all sorts of time of the hour and doing their hair, and oh my goodness. Okay, move on.